Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm doing my breakdown of Outer Banks Season 4, Part 1. If you haven't watched it yet, please stop. There are huge spoilers coming up ahead. When we start at Season 1, I'm glad they talk about how the Pogues have been on the island for 18 months and then they get written about and get their ceremony. So basically the first 15 minutes are before the ending of Season 3, which I like that they played on that. Because I was always wondering at the Season 3 finale, you see JJ getting the award. He's kind of disassociated from everybody. He kind of looks down in the dumps. And that's because what we didn't know at that time is that JJ lost basically all their money by way overpaying for his house, by buying the charter boat and placing the last bet of all the gold onto the dirt bike race against Rafe, which he ended up losing. It was a nail biter, but what are we going to do about that? So I don't know if the directors purposely did that. I assume, even though they didn't know they were getting renewed for Season 4 as far as we know. I definitely think we're getting Season 5 after watching just Part 1 of this. I'm looking forward to Part 2, but back onto the storyline. The Pogues buy their house back, and honestly, it's a really cool set design. It's kind of stuff we've never seen before. You know, we're used to these like kind of rundown, raggedy houses that we're going to see, and you know they're all in a good mood. All the relationships are static. Like John B and Sarah have had drama for 3 seasons straight. We never know, like, is she going to stick with Topper? Is he going to stick with John B? But you know, they're basically a very solid foundation right now. In fact, all 3 are, and it's nice to see Cleo and honestly everybody just in a moment of kind of peace for the first time since Season 1, the beginning of Season 1, because there's just been so much crap going on with the cross, the gold. And another part on the cross and the gold is that they don't play any of the score from the first 3 seasons. It's like Eli Fisher or whatever his name is did the score for those seasons, and that's like Royal Merchant Gold songs. And then obviously this one for these couple of seasons they'll work in new score, which I like. So they have a kind of like an abandonment of the first seasons, because I know the directors and the creators said they wanted to start fresh for Season 4, which I feel they definitely have done. I wouldn't say we're all the way going back to Season 1 vibes, but we're somewhere between Season 1 and 2 going on so far. I know things are going to get crazy, and if they are able to extend this individual adventure out over 3 seasons, it's going to be absolutely wild. But leaving that stuff behind just feels so good. It can get repetitive if you go for too many seasons, and especially if you change topic of what treasure you're actually after. What I'm also glad for is that there's also no parent drama so far going on. You know, you see Key's parents for a split second, Poe's parent for a split second, but you know, they're 19 years old now, they live on their own, they got money, so you don't need this like, oh, my parents are going to get me grounded anymore. You're right, that aspect's out of the show now, which I like and enjoy, because how long are you going to just, oh, my parents won't let me go and run on that storyline, which is perfect for before, but now we're way past that. But to say there's no parent drama, it would be a lie, because, spoiler alert, JJ links back up with his dad, who he thought was like in the Yucatan or Belize or whatever, and he's actually living at Barracuda Mike's house, which I thought was good. I wanted JJ's dad to come back. I actually liked his character, even though he's, you know, an evil man at the time, but that ties into this whole season. At the very end, we find out that he's not actually JJ's blood father. That was the biggest hit at the end of the season, the perfect cliffhanger to leave off of episode 5 of Part 1. So obviously there's going to be huge stuff going on with that. His mom is actually Larissa Jenrette, and his grandfather's Wes Jenrette. So technically JJ's a kook by blood and Pogue by nature. And his dad is Chandler Groff, who we know is in with that lady Horace. And we know they're purchasing that island for doing some dirty deed. I don't know if that has anything to do with the treasure. I was trying to pick up on that. I said, is the treasure on this island? Is it in Morocco? Is it part of the amulet they found on the boat? I'm not sure where they're doing that, but they're roping Rafe into the whole thing. And I know this is all going to tie in the back half of this season. But it's going to be cool to see them tie all that in, and I'm positive that JJ is going to get an inheritance from his grandfather, Wes Jenrette. I mean, the guy was a kook. He's got tons of money. But I know this is going to affect JJ's character wildly. It's kind of JJ's season to have all the drama. He's kind of been like the wild partner of the whole series, and now with his dad, well, his fake dad back in the picture, I'm sure stuff's just going to get nuts. I'm looking forward to everything going on in this season. We also had Rafe trying to redeem himself. He suddenly wants to be back, family with Sarah. He doesn't know where he stands with her or how he's going to redeem himself. Quite honestly, his character's probably ultimately irredeemable. He might be a late kill-off character. That would be a shock. But the guy's got to go to jail for something at this point. We had Topper back in the season as well, and he's being typical kook. He's kind of full kook now. He's on the edge of irredeemable with the Kooks at this point. We had a big scene with him and Key after that one Kook girl drove over the turtles, just being idiots to them on the beach. I was glad we got that surf scene in there. That gives the whole Outer Banks vibe. We're back in the OBX for the first half of this season and probably most of the second half of the season, which we haven't had basically since season 1. Like season 2 was kind of half and half. Season 3 was basically almost less than half in the OBX, which is you're restarting, so we're back in the OBX. It's a whole lot of fun. Also, Terrence is back. Captain Terrence is back. I thought he was going to appear himself in season 3, and when he didn't, I went, okay, his character's dead. But then when he turned around on the boat, I was actually shocked. That's something I didn't see coming. I didn't see any spoilers about that, any pictures, nothing. But he redeemed his character big time by kind of saving Cleo and sacrificing his life, unfortunately, to save them. And it also brought new emotions to Cleo's character because we've seen her mad, we've seen her in love. She's kind of this hard character, but then you really see her quite shell-shocked and just basically devastated at what happened. And that has just not appeared with her character yet. And Pope has been playing dad the whole time. He's making sure the money's right. He's making sure the house is right. He's making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. When they're having fun, they're going surfing. He's going to check out Treasure and Ambulance because he wants his money back. He doesn't want his life messed up like everybody else apparently does. Overall, I think they have good bad guys in this season. They're not like outlandish like, say, Mr. Singh was, and they're not like as homebodied as Ward was. They're kind of right in the middle. You kind of have two bad guys going on right now. Where they all tie in, I have no idea. We'll find that out later. The best scene of the show for me was in later episode, I think it's 5, when they go to Charleston and they're underneath the church. It kind of reminded me of National Treasure and like kind of the beginning of OBX season 1 where they're in the crane house looking for the treasure. I just thought it was absolutely done well, and to see Pope and Sarah in a scene together, I feel like they just don't get individual screen time, like no private conversations or private, adventures with each other. And obviously everybody, has had time, but this just seemed like very unique to the situation. I'm looking forward to where everything leads to them. They obviously found some sort of map in those catacombs underneath the church, so definitely interested to see what's going to be going on there. I think they have a lot of surprises. Supposedly there's a JJ and Kiara bombshell. I don't know if that's related to his dad or something different going on. Now basically the only parents we got to figure out now is who John B's mom is, who Sarah's mom is, and does Cleo have any parents at all, which I don't think she does. But overall, the season has been great. They got underwater scuba diving. They got great color grading. The color grading's been like, typically the OBX orange, then the blues are hitting hard. The blues have been like really good. The camera quality in this season is just ridiculous. But besides the camera quality and everything, one thing that I think is the least mentioned thing in all of OBX is that Shoop is a dirty cop. I mean, this guy helped Ward in the beginning. In episode 1 of season 1, he steals money from that safe. He tells the other cop, like, oh, everyone's got to dip their hands a couple of times. He's like, he's just super shady to me. And I'm like, you know what? When are we making this guy full-on crooked cop, or is he just going to play this good guy, bad guy when he's flip-flopping all over the place? That guy, his character's got something, something not right with him. But anyways, go check out Season 4, Part 1, Episodes 1 through 5 on Netflix. Hit the like button, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. Peace.